Look at some 2019 playoff stats for just for fun. The most home runs in the entire playoffs was Altuve and Juan Soto with 5 each. So Altuve, of course, I'm an Astros fan. I'm defending the Astros position in their most in the hardest moment in Astros history, which will pass. Everybody's life has a hard moment, so get over it. It's not that big of a deal. It's about how you rebound from the hard moments. But let's talk about Altuve and the reason that I don't believe that he was involved in any of this, because he's a clutch. He has clutch DNA. He's a playoff beast. He had 25 hits. Let's go ahead and look at it. He had 14 runs. He had 25 hits. He had 5 more hits than Rendon. In the World Series in 2019, we lost every single home game. So the whole argument is null and void. In against the Yankees, we didn't even go to 7 games. We only went to 6 games. And we won 2 games in Yankee Stadium. So therefore, that's point 2. It is null and void again. There's no bigger target on the Astros' back than from Yankees fans. And Yankees fans are vicious. They're absolutely vicious. They use the F word. They basically just get vulgar. And Yankees fans are also the most entitled. If you guys disagree with anything, let me know. And just go by it step by step. I said, they're vicious. Agreed? And I said that the biggest target on our back is from Yankees fans. And I said that they use the F word a lot. Those are all absolute facts. It's totally true. This is not an observation or a viewpoint. This is a fact. So when you look at to me, the definition of a player is how you perform in the playoffs. This regular season stuff doesn't matter. Look at Kershaw. He's a regular season beast. Does he perform like that in the playoffs? Absolutely not. Look at Bellinger. He's a regular season beast. He's the league MVP last year. But does he perform in the playoffs? Absolutely not. Bellinger sucks in the playoffs. Bellinger only got 4 hits. 4 in the entire playoffs. Their offense was, honestly, they deserved to lose. They absolutely stunk in the playoffs. Kershaw and Bellinger choked so bad in the playoffs. It was insane. The Astros, scandal aside, do I think that they cheated? Obviously, there's evidence. So we're not going to argue that. It is what it is. It is what it is. But we're going to talk about performance in the playoffs besides that, because I'm going to defend the Astros and I'm going to defend me being a lifetime fan, and I'm sticking with my team in the highs and the lows. Every team has a low point. This is our low point. If you guys want to create low blows during our lowest point, go ahead. Don't take the high road. It's fine. But my point is that if you look at the World Series against the Astros and Dodgers, Bellinger struck out for a World Series record 17 times. He swings for the fences. Altuve is more of a contact hitter. And so I don't know how he developed the power side, but everybody knows, except in the playoff, the ball was juiced. Everybody's stats were inflated this year, but I heard the playoff baseball wasn't juiced, and that's when Altuve still had 5 jacks. So I was pretty cool with Altuve's performance, and I've actually gone to baseballreference.com and looked up his playoff stats and looked up Bellinger's playoff stats. Bellinger's playoff stats are putrid. Absolutely putrid. He batted in the World Series last year something like a 0.62. In the 2000 against the Red Sox. Against the Astros, he batted like a 183, 193, 163, something like that. Absolutely putrid stats. The reason I have a problem with Bellinger is not that he's not a talented player with slightly elite power and speed. Okay, I'm not debating that. What I'm saying is he doesn't show up in the playoffs, but then when he gets that one home run in was it game 5, he hushes up the Houston crowd. Or when we get caught in the cheating scandal, he's the first one to talk on the Dodgers, and he's like, "Oh, we did it the right way." Okay, you know what? I don't even know what to say to that. Just perform in the playoffs, man. Just perform in the playoffs. Your record. Go to baseballreference.com and type in Cody Bellinger, and then go down to his stats, his playoff stats. They're absolutely putrid. They're absolutely putrid. Okay, and I can say the same thing about Verlander. Okay, Verlander, regular season beast. But I don't know why, but the only way you can really say it is that most players, once you get to the playoffs, almost most people, once the pressure is really on and there's something on the line, they're just not the same. They're just not the same. George Springer isn't the same, but in a good way. George Springer is a beast in the playoffs. And that's why we won the World Series, because of Altuve and George Springer. And Correa, you've seen him a couple times show up in the playoffs. Game 2 this year against the Yankees, with that right field shot to win the game in the 11th inning. Or was it the 10th? But I think it was the 11th. Game 5 of the World Series. Believe me, if you look at all of we won the World Series in Los Angeles. George Springer had a home run. George Springer won the World Series for us. Game 7, he was a total beast. We feasted on the Dodgers that day. Absolutely feasted. So everybody wants to have low blows and nitpick on the negative side, and that's human nature. And I understand. But everybody, the human condition, be happy with yourselves and don't go for these low blows. Have legitimate reasons. And right now, I know that we are the biggest villain, but only to Yankees fans. But Yankees fans want to include everybody. They want to include everybody, get everybody grouped in, but don't fall for that. Anyway, as far as the punishments go this year, I think if it's true, I wasn't there, but there is evidence. I wasn't there. But if it's true, then AJ Hinch did need to be fired, and Jeff Luhnow did need to be fired, and we can have and Carlos Beltran and Alex Cora. Alex Cora is probably in the biggest trouble of all of them, from what I've heard, because he's involved in the Astros scandal and he's involved in the Red Sox scandal. And the Red Sox and the Yankees were both caught before the Astros. So the Yankees, it's kind of like, the pot calling the kettle black. You should not do that. You should not do that. So everybody's time is coming. Alex Cora is being investigated right now. It's a total witch hunt right now. But the main point is the two main points of this video is to defend my position as an Astros fan based on the stats, and to talk about clutch DNA in the playoffs. And the reason that the Yankees lost is because they don't have clutch DNA in the playoffs like the Astros did. Simple as that. The reason the Dodgers lost is because they don't have the clutch DNA like the Astros did. But I give my hats off to the Dodgers for performing very well, taking us to 7 games, giving us a spectacular game 2 and a spectacular game 5, and really hanging in there and taking us to the brink. We barely won that. Game 7, okay, Springer went off. But if you remove Game 7 and look at the first 6 games, man, that was a tough series. My hat's off to the Dodgers for that. Bellinger, you're a regular season beast. And you were hitting near 400 or 409 for the first 50 games, but you kept swinging for the fences, and you only batted 255 for the last 100 games of the season last year. So you're hot and cold. You're hot and cold, but you still got the MVP. Good for you. Hey, we all know the best player in the league is Mike Trout. So overall, elite power and speed. What a great player. I think the best power hitter in the league is probably, I don't know, because, man, Yelich might be just the best overall hitter. The best player is Trout. But I've always said it's Altuve is the best hitter. Altuve came back from injury mid last year, but when he came back for the first 6-7 weeks, he was batting 400. So he is an elite hitter, but you have to admit, Christian Yelich might be just as good, if not better. Christian Yelich and Altuve are hands down the two best hitters in the game. Anyway, that's my video. Hopefully you guys liked it. I just wanted to share a few thoughts. And anyway, take care. See you next time.